who makes some of the most frightening monsters you've ever seen. His name is Rob Bottin, and he knows what scares you. But now you're about to find out what it is that scares him.
At age 24, Rob Bottin is already a master of his craft, the magical world of special effects makeup artist.
I always had a big imagination when I was a kid, and I always wanted to go to those places where, the movies were, and I didn't understand, that, my father would explain to me, hey, listen, it's a trick. It's trick photography, it's not real. And I go, no, but I mean, it's really happening somewhere on the world. These places really do exist. And he said, yeah, they do, in movies, So I decided when I was 7 that I wanted to work in motion pictures.
Rob works in motion pictures now, not on rugged Alaskan locations like the rest of the crew for The Thing, but in a special effects studio where his monsters are painstakingly created in secrecy.
How do you come up with the ideas for these creatures? Do you work with the director?
Usually when you're making a monster that's like The Thing, you have to think of it logically, because there's a set of rules that are made up in the script. The monster is an actor. I know John Carpenter, when we started the picture, he said The Thing is the star of my movie, and I'm his agent, so I have to figure out what's going to be best for him and what is best, how he's going to be best presented on screen.
The plot line for The Thing is classic science fiction B-movie. A horrible alien creature is unearthed by an Antarctic expedition. In the original 1952 version, James Arness, later of Gunsmoke fame, played the creature. In the remake, the filmmakers had to come up with something more convincing for today's more sophisticated audience.
Found this.
The chameleon-like creature Rob came up with takes many forms that illustrate the incredible intricacies of the special effects art today. These are heads Rob has worked on, some just as practice figures for perfecting his craft. The reason he's become so skilled is that he started early, at the ripe old age of 14. Rob apprenticed himself to special effects wizard Rick Baker and worked with him on King Kong. And then on the famous Cantina sequence for Star Wars. It was on the set of Star Wars that Rob learned an important lesson in judgment.
I remember George Lucas, when we were shooting it, he sat down next to me. I didn't know who he was. And I looked over at him, and he's looking at me, and I thought he was a grip, or somebody that helps on the crew, and he goes, what's the matter? I said, I don't know. This is really depressing. I think this movie's going to be really silly, a bunch of aliens drinking, and whoever is directing this picture doesn't know what he's doing, This is too weird, And he sits and he looks at me and goes, yeah, maybe you got a point there, and he stands up and walks away, and then John Berg, the guy that did the walkers in The Empire Strikes Back, he comes over and he sits down next to me, and he goes, hey, Rob, what'd George want? And I go, George who? And I go, you mean the grip? And he goes, no, that's George Lucas, the director, And then I just went, oh, my God.
Rob survived his encounter with George Lucas and went on to create the werewolf effects for the movie The Howling.
I think The Howling was a breakthrough movie for special effects makeup artists. I actually got an opportunity to change an actor without optical tricks into a 9-foot-tall werewolf. He was 5 feet tall, and we changed him into a 9-foot-tall werewolf on camera without optical effects.
You spend all this time and energy creating all these horrible effects to scare other people. What frightens you?
Being scared is very personal. I know people that are very afraid of even just waking up and existing in the everyday world. I am afraid of the dark, and the unknown. I'm 6'6", I weigh 230 pounds, and I'm a big baby, But I'm afraid of the dark,
The unknown, the unnatural, these are the things that scare us most. Creating a monster that was constantly evolving, constantly changing, was the continual challenge of The Thing.
You actually have to create a thing that'll move and flex and look and blink and do this whole number. The hard thing about The Thing is that once you've seen that, you get to look at it for 3 seconds. It's sitting there moving. We spend a lot of money, right? Well, then there's a monster inside of that monster. You basically have to have a knowledge of mechanical effects. You have to have knowledge of makeup, cosmetics, electronics, cable systems, linkage, plastics. You basically have to be like a mad scientist, and it's a lot of fun.